Welcome, Dr. Murali Krishna. Thank you for coming today and giving your precious time. Before we begin, please tell our viewers who Dr. Murali Krishna is.
I am Dr. Murali Krishna. Basically, I am a scientist having more than 36 years of experience in pharma industry. I was heading the R&D in multiple companies. So recently I retired, and in parallel I did a lot of work on Bhagavad Gita. So I composed and I recited the Sanskrit shlokas of Bhagavad Gita in classical Carnatic ragas, and I created multiple audio albums in different languages. Great. So, and all those audio albums were promoted by the eminent people like Vatipatri Padmakar and even the Nobel Peace Laureate, Mr. Kailash Satyarthi, and many people actually impressed by these audios. Even the many university professors and vice chancellors, they were very much inspired because all my work is very much useful for the youth, particularly for the students. So what they found. So, and I authored books also, and with conceptualization of management aspects, basically from the based on the Bhagavad Gita itself. So I authored books also. So in all, I am a scientist and singer and writer as well.
That's wonderful. Mr. Murali Krishna, can you tell me something about your new book that is coming out soon?
This is again, there are so many degrees we see. There are so many master's degrees, Master of Science, Master of Arts, Master of Commerce, Master of Business Administration. But there is no master's degree for our life management.
Yes.
So which is very, very essential and important for all our lives. So the Bhagavad Gita is the highest scripture, and I have taken the Bhagavad Gita as a base, and I conceptualize the management aspects useful for our lives. So I authored the book Master of Life Management.
Life Management.
It is something like a degree, Master of Life Management, I titled. So which is, I found that's very important for the whole mankind, and particularly for the youth students, because for them it is very, very important. So I conceptualize in such a way that youth can grasp and understand easily.
The concepts easily. They can get the concepts easily, understand them in layman terms, as we say.
Exactly.
How did you think about writing such a book? I mean, obviously you have always had an interest in Bhagavad Gita and mythological philosophical stories. So how did this concept come about that you want to write a life management book?
Because I have been working on Bhagavad Gita for the last more than 1 decade. And as I said earlier, so I found that most of the things actually the Krishna told Arjuna on a variety of aspects, and educated Arjuna. Actually, the Bhagavad Gita emerged in the battlefield, which is very unusual. In fact, it's not just a spiritual book. People feel that it's a spiritual book, but it's not like that, because how it can happen otherwise in the battlefield? It emerged in the battlefield, so I don't think it's a purely a spiritual book. It's an educative book, in fact. So a lot of knowledge is available in Bhagavad Gita. So many sutras are available, which are very, very relevant even after 5,000 years, because 5,000 years back, Bhagavad Gita emerged. Yes. Even today, we are talking about that. That's the power of Bhagavad Gita. And all those teachings, what explained by Krishna to the great warrior Arjuna, are very, very relevant even today in our lives.
So he was an advisor as well as a teacher, as a guide.
Exactly. He was the mentor for Arjuna, naturally. Krishna was the mentor for Arjuna. So he taught many things on variety of aspects. So it's an educative text. So I thought that that's why youth are really is not very much inclined to Bhagavad Gita, because they feel that it's a spiritual text. It is not like that. So I wanted to convert to an educative book. So I with conceptualization of management theories, so that the youth can grasp the things properly and understand really what is there in the Gita. That's what I thought. So there are so many important sutras available and applicable all our lives. That's why.
So your book, where if you say that it is for the youth, and how do you think it's going to help the youth? I mean, it is obviously educative, and but is your book more lined towards students who can grasp it? As you said, you have used layman terms to translate or maybe to refer in a way all these concepts. So, what do you expect? How would this change the youth once they read your book? How is the youth going to change if they grasp these concepts?
Yeah, because it's not only for the youth, it is for the whole mankind. Because I titled it is Master of Life Management.
Yes.
So for all humans it is applicable, and for youth also it is applicable, because all the management concepts like the motivation aspects and the stress management, personality development, leadership qualities, communication skills, all those things we talk in the management point of view, but all included in that. Okay, not only the spiritual aspects, even what are the good, noble actions one to do, and what are the duties, and what are the responsibilities, what are the actions one should perform, what is the right path, how to proceed, the righteousness. There are many aspects. There are so many morals and ethics, which all explain. Even the balance in the diet, balance in the sleep, all described in the Bhagavad Gita. It is not that only the it is described about the God, or it is described the spiritual aspects. No, it's not like that. Because how to live in this world, it is explained. How we can elevate ourselves in our life. That is explained in Bhagavad Gita. For self-elevation, Bhagavad Gita is the best text, in fact. Because not only for this life, for the next life also it explains how we can elevate our lives. So, in what path we should choose, and how to live, in fact. Even our diet control, even yoga, meditation, diet control, and balance, equanimity is one big subject in Bhagavad Gita, explained by Krishna. How to balance the things, how to balance our emotions, how to balance our workload, how to balance the good and bad, how to treat them. Many things explained, whatever required in our day-to-day life, in fact. So all those things covered in my book, so that everyone needs this knowledge. Everyone needs that. That's why I conceptualize in that way.
So, Mr. Murali, you're a scientist, and taking out your time to write books, and this is not the first book that you have authored. So, taking out time from your daily grind of being a scientist, how do you take out time? How is your writing process, and how was your journey with writing this book or any of your other books as well?
Actually, the main source, the inspiration and spirit we should have. The inspiration is my parents. That's one, the driving factor. And the second is the spirit. The determination is very much important. If we want to do something, we want to achieve some goal, we will do that. That determination one must have. That what I explained in Gita, actually. For a person who takes any task, so determination is most important. So with determination, the timing, you are asking me that about the time. When I have the determination, the time is not the limiting factor, in fact. I was doing all this work at night time, usually up to 2 or 1 o'clock till in the late night. Then even I will again awake at 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So usually I sleep only 3 or 4 hours at the most maximum. So remaining time, lot of time is available. Time is not the limiting factor for the person who really wants something to do. I think this is what I learned from my work, in fact.
That's great. Mr. Murali Krishna, is there anything that you would like to give as an encouragement to our viewers who are watching you as an end note? Is there something that you, to other aspiring writers, as you said, determination is there, it's a major factor as well. But what would you say to other writers, admirers, or aspiring authors that want to write a book, want to complete their goal of writing a book? There is a lot of goals. but what is your one tip or encouragement for them?
In this modern world, actually, whatever the ancient knowledge, mythological or historical, anything, okay, we don't consider them as a mythological books or historical books. Lot knowledge is available there. The modern writers should see that in such a way that the applicability they should bring from the essence of those texts, from those scriptures, and write the new books in a new version, so that in the new dynamic world, so the youth easily to grasp. In such a way, they have to write the books. What I feel that it's not that a mythological book, it's not that a novel, it's not like a script for the cinema. It's not simple way. So there must be some essence and extract the essence from the whole ancient scriptures, because
But
they are very
modernize it.
much and in the modern world and relevant to the youth. So that what youth requires, the writer should know. So with that taste, with that flavor, the thing should emerge at the writing, with the conceptualizations of modern requirements of the youth. That what I feel for the writers should adopt those things, not exactly the way explained years back or centuries back. There should be a variation with respect to the today's world, in the dynamic world. In fact, that's what I feel.
Thank you so much for coming today, Mr. Murali. Krishna, thank you for your time. It was a pleasure having you, and it was a pleasure to have this conversation with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks a lot.